so much to the Chinese American Museum for inviting me to speak tonight. I feel very humbled to be here and to be invited as an active young organizer. And I want to recognize all the other organizers in the room. And yeah, I'm just so happy that I'm able to stand here. My friend recently shared this poem with me that really spoke to me, that I wanted to share with you all tonight. It's called Translations by huynh. Tongyangai was what we once called where we lived, China People's Street. Later we mimicked demon talk and wrote down only Wa Phao, Chinatown. The difference is obvious, the people disappeared. I wanted to share that poem because of where we're standing today, where old Chinatown used to be. And I want to recognize that the narratives we hear and tell are very powerful, for they reflect what voices we want to center. Historically, multidimensional Asian American voices have been erased from spaces and conversations because of racism, sexism, classism, and so much more. But this exhibit is so important because it shows that there is also a history of resistance and organizing where these same folks have created their own narratives and told their own stories and fought for a vision of collectivity, equity, and a recognition of human rights. In a time where systems of oppression continue to persist today through things like anti-blackness, gentrification, police brutality, Islamophobia, imperialism, homophobia, transphobia, so much more. How do we uplift and center the voices that are intentionally erased? How do we challenge ourselves to grow? We organize. It's this legacy of resistance from the movements of Asian American communities, the Black freedom movements, civil rights movements, Latino movements, that drive everything that I do. And it's this legacy of resistance that reminds me why I'm in academia studying Asian American studies and community health. It's the love and power of my ancestors that pushed me to ask questions, build deep relationships, and organize with folks in Chinatown. What do I organize for? I organize for a vision of communities that can continue to exist for working class residents of color, because they've been the ones who fed us and sustained us all this time. Their existence is resistance. Let's ensure our organizing is multi-generational, intersectional, community-based, and centers a vision of social justice. I am learning that organizing can take form in many different ways, from the gardens to the streets. And I want to center these very people who've helped me grow as a person and an organizer right now while I have this chance to speak with y'all. And to thank them for reminding me and us of this vision and this history of resistance. So thank you to the Pawpaws, the senior immigrant women who sell produce on Broadway and Ord. Thank you to the workers who serve food and sew clothes. To the martial arts teachers like Thea, who teach our kids skills and sense of community at Alpine Park. To the parents and staff at Castellar, who fight for their kids and their needs and the education. For the people who organized this exhibit and the folks at Chinese Historical Society who emphasize the importance of our history and who we are and what we do today. To the longtime and young organizers and organizations like Chinatown Community for Equitable Development, Chinese American Citizens Alliance, and so much more. To my parents and to the ancestors and to the folks that come before me and after me, thank you. I'd love to talk to y'all about different ways of organizing in the gardens and in the streets. Thank you so much for this time.
This is nice to meet you. I know many of you are eager now to move on.